When I look back at my past, it feels almost like two completely different lives, one that belonged to a younger, insecure version of myself, and one that began the moment I allowed love, real love, to finally enter. For nearly 10 years, I was stuck in a relationship with someone who, looking back now, I can only describe as a complete jerk. It started when I was just a teenager, far too young to understand what a healthy relationship should look like. I thought at the time that being with someone older, someone who seemed confident, meant I was lucky. But as the years went on, I realized I was slowly losing myself. I tried to leave him many times. I would gather the courage, tell myself that this time was it, and I would walk away. But somehow, every single time, he would manage to pull me back in. His begging, his promises to change, the tears, the apologies, I fell for them more than once. I convinced myself that maybe he meant it. Maybe things would be different this time. They never were. It became this exhausting cycle. Deep down, I knew he wasn't right for me, but I was scared of being alone, scared of starting over. I had given almost a decade of my youth to this relationship, and I thought maybe that meant I had to keep holding on. I didn't yet understand that holding on to something broken only hurts more the longer you do it. And then one ordinary day, something extraordinary happened. I was working at a nursing home, the kind of job that is both draining and rewarding all at once. We had a new worker starting that day, someone sent from an agency to fill in shifts. His name was Italian, his accent was thick, and the moment I laid eyes on him, my heart stopped. I felt this immediate spark, this rush of energy that I hadn't felt in years, maybe ever. I remember scolding myself internally, telling myself, "Don't be ridiculous. You're in a relationship. You can't feel this way about a stranger." But my heart didn't care what my head was saying. Before each shift, we did handovers, passing information from one team to another. Because he was new, management decided he needed to shadow someone experienced. And of all the people they could have paired him with, they chose me. The second I heard that, my heart started pounding so loudly I thought everyone else could hear it. I kept thinking, oh no, he's going to see right through me. He'll know immediately that I find him attractive. How do I hide this? He hardly spoke English, and when he did, it was broken and quiet. For most of that shift, I was running around trying to find him, giving instructions, trying to help him. But I kept noticing something odd. He seemed to disappear, and part of me wondered if he was avoiding me. Maybe he thought I was strange. Maybe he could sense how flustered I was. At the end of that shift, I didn't see him again for 2 whole weeks. Life carried on, and eventually, I pushed the memory of him to the back of my mind. It was just a silly crush, I told myself. Forget about it. Focus on your life. But fate clearly had other plans. One night, I showed up for a night shift, 12 long hours ahead of me, and there he was, assigned to work with me. Just the two of us, alone for an entire night. Now, I should mention that it wasn't just me who found him attractive. Everyone did. My coworkers, even the managers, all admitted he was incredibly good-looking. But the funny thing was, nobody really spoke to him much. They all said the same thing. He's handsome, but he's so quiet. He barely talks. That night, I made a decision. I wasn't going to be intimidated by his silence. I wasn't going to let my nerves ruin the chance to at least have a good shift. So I started talking to him. Just normal conversation, like I would with anyone else. And to my surprise, he responded. At first it was shy, cautious. But then something clicked. We started laughing together, joking, even playfully competing over who would answer a call light faster. His English wasn't perfect, but somehow I understood him. More than that, I felt him. It was like we were speaking a language only the two of us could hear. The hours flew by that night. What should have been a long, exhausting 12-hour shift felt like minutes. When the sun began to rise and it was time to leave, I felt this pang of sadness. I didn't want it to end. We said goodbye politely, thanked each other for a good night, and walked away. But in my heart, I knew something had changed. A few weeks later, I was scrolling through Facebook when his face suddenly popped up as a suggested friend. My heart skipped a beat. Without overthinking, I sent him a friend request. My logic was simple. He didn't know many people here, he was new to the country, and maybe we could at least be friends. At the same time, I was finally preparing to end things with my long-term boyfriend. The relationship had been dead for a long time, and deep down I knew it. I just needed the courage to cut the last tie. He accepted my friend request. Soon, we started chatting on Messenger. Nothing inappropriate, nothing romantic at first, just friendly conversation. But it felt so refreshing. He was kind, funny, and so easy to talk to. I told him honestly that I had a boyfriend and that things were complicated. He respected that. He never pushed, never crossed a line. We met a couple of times for coffee in the city. It was innocent, but at the same time, every moment with him felt charged with something I couldn't deny. I felt alive in a way I hadn't in years. And then one day it hit me like a lightning bolt. I was already in love with him. The moment that realization settled in, I knew I couldn't stay with my boyfriend another day. I ended it, packed my things, and moved back in with my mom. For the first time in nearly 10 years, I felt free. The very next night, I had another night shift, and there he was again. My heart was racing before the shift even began. When the rest of the staff left for the night, and it was just us two, I gathered my courage and told him, I broke up with my boyfriend. What happened next will stay with me forever. He looked at me with this intensity one had never seen before. He reached out, took my face gently in his hands, and kissed me, pressing me against the wall with a passion that took my breath away. I felt fireworks explode inside me. I had never experienced a kiss like that. He whispered that from the very first day he saw me, he wanted to do this, but he held back because he respected the fact that I was with someone else. I admitted that I felt the exact same way. And then we laughed, realizing that on that very first shift, the reason I couldn't find him was because he was running around desperately trying to find me. He thought I was avoiding him. Two people, both too shy, both terrified of seeming strange, secretly searching for each other. From that moment on, everything moved quickly, but it never felt rushed. Within the first month, we both knew this was it. This wasn't just attraction or infatuation. This was real love. We told our families that we wanted to marry. Of course, they thought we were crazy. They said it was too fast, too soon. But we didn't care. When you know, you just know. 3 months later, I was pregnant. And today, here we are. Engaged, planning our wedding for next year, and raising our beautiful 2-year-old son. Sometimes I look at them, my fiancé, my child, and I still can't believe this is my life. I can't believe how lucky I am that fate placed him in that nursing home on that random day, and that I found the courage to finally walk away from something toxic so I could embrace the love of my life. It took me nearly a decade to understand, but now I know. Real love doesn't trap you, it frees you. And I will never, ever take that for granted.